Sir, she's in Sector 12 already. The technician's voice cracked through the control room. That's impossible, Sector 12 is the final stage. She started 38 minutes ago. That's when the alarms started going off. The Veltrax training complex hung in the void like a metallic predator orbiting a moon so desolate even bacteria had given up. For 3 centuries, it had forged the galaxy's deadliest warriors through a simple philosophy: break them down completely, then rebuild them stronger. The complex's crown jewel was the Gauntlet, a week-long nightmare that combined every form of military hell imaginable. Physical trials that shattered bones. Mental challenges that broke minds. Environmental tests that killed the unprepared. No one had ever completed it in less than 6 days. Most took the full 7. Many didn't finish at all. Drill Master Cornex stood in the observation tower, his 6 arms crossed in practiced intimidation. 200 years of training warriors had carved every emotion from his face except disapproval. Today's fresh batch of cadets stood before him. Zephyrians with their gas-filled sacks, crystalline Vorthan warriors, a few ambitious Krillians, and one human. Cadet Riley Knox stood at 5'6", brown hair in a regulation bun, wearing standard-issue gear that looked borrowed from someone bigger. While other cadets flexed and postured, she was doing stretches and humming something under her breath. Human. Cornex's voice could strip paint. Your species is rated moderately dangerous in our files. The Gauntlet has crushed beings twice your size. You may withdraw with no shame. Riley looked up, smiled, and cracked her knuckles. Appreciate the concern, sir. But Earth doesn't really do withdrawal. We're more of a hold my beer and watch this species. Cornex's translator struggled with the phrase. He dismissed it as human babbling. Very well. Cadets, you have 7 days. Survival is success. Completion is glory. Death is probable. Begin. The starting klaxon wailed. 50 cadets charged forward into the first obstacle, a 40-foot wall covered in electrified spikes. Most began carefully plotting their climb. Riley took 3 steps back, ran forward, and launched herself at an angle. She hit the wall 5 feet up, pushed off sideways to a protruding spike, swung around it like a gymnast, and vaulted over the top in one fluid motion. Did she just? Lieutenant Vrex blinked all 4 eyes. She parkoured the death wall, another instructor confirmed. Riley was already at the second challenge, automated combat drones programmed to test hand-to-hand combat. The first drone extended its shock batons. She removed her belt. What's she doing? Cornex leaned forward. Riley wrapped the belt around the drone's optical sensor, blinding it. As it spun in confusion, she calmly walked past, but not before pulling a spoon from her pocket and jamming it into the drone's joint servo. The machine collapsed, twitching. She disabled military-grade hardware with eating utensils, Vrex whispered. The third sector was environmental, a lava field with temperatures that could melt standard armor. Cadets were supposed to carefully navigate using heat shields and cooling stations. Riley found a crash training vehicle from a previous year, half buried in ash. Within minutes, she had it running using power cells from the disabled drones. Is she allowed to do that? A junior instructor asked. Cornex checked the manual with 2 of his arms while massaging his temples with the others. There's no rule against it. We never thought anyone would try to hotwire a wreck during the trial. Riley surfed across the lava plains on her improvised vehicle using a piece of hull plating as a heat shield, whooping like she was at an amusement park. Sector 7 was psychological warfare, a barrage of sensory attacks designed to break concentration. Most cadets spent hours fighting through hallucinations and neural static. The monitors showed Riley entering the chamber. The psychological assault began immediately, screaming sounds, flashing lights, vertigo-inducing holograms. She sat down, pulled out emergency rations, and started eating while the chaos raged around her. Then she laid down and took a nap. She's sleeping? Cornex's voice had climbed an octave. Her biometrics show REM sleep, sir. Deep REM sleep. During a simulated bombing. 20 minutes later, Riley woke up, stretched, and strolled through the rest of the sector while yawning. At the exit, she looked directly at a camera and asked, "Any chance the next one has better sound effects?" That was like trying to sleep in a freshman dorm. She's not completing the course, Vrex observed, his voice hollow. She's speedrunning it. By the time other cadets were struggling through Sector 3, Riley had blazed through 9. She'd turned obstacle courses into jungle gyms, combat trials into puzzles, and endurance tests into opportunities for creative problem-solving. Cornex slammed 2 fists on the console. This is not a race. It's a test of grit, of endurance, Sir. The technician's voice was panicked. She's entering the final sector. That's impossible. The final sector is the zero-gravity combat dome. Yes, sir. She's already inside. The final challenge was meant to be the ultimate test. Zero gravity. Shifting surfaces. Automated enemies attacking from all angles. Most cadets spent hours learning to move, then days learning to fight. The record was 3 days, set by a Krillian Special Forces legend. Riley floated into the chamber, looked around, and smiled. Oh, this is just like the Vomit Comet back home. She pulled out magnetic clamps from earlier sectors, using them to create anchor points. Within seconds, she'd turned the three-dimensional battlefield into her personal highway system. When the combat drones activated, she didn't fight them. Instead, she used their predictable attack patterns to herd them together, then rigged a feedback loop using a flashlight, some chewing gum, and exposed wiring from the chamber walls. The explosion was small, controlled, and devastatingly effective. Every drone shut down simultaneously. Time elapsed, 2 minutes, 18 seconds. Riley floated to the observation window, tapped on the reinforced glass, and grinned. Hey, is there a second round, or should I go grab lunch? I'm thinking tacos. The control room was silent except for sparking electronics and Cornex's heavy breathing. Computer, he said slowly, confirm time. Cadet Riley Knox. Course completion time, 1 hour, 2 minutes, 17 seconds. She finished the 7-day course in an hour, Rex said faintly. An aide tugged at Cornex's lower left arm. Sir, she's asking if she can do it again, but backwards this time. She says it might be more challenging. Cornex sat down heavily, all 6 arms hanging limp. Get me the human military attaché. I need to update their species classification. To what, sir? Whatever is above extremely dangerous. Maybe apocalyptically unpredictable. Within hours, Riley's run was being analyzed across the galaxy. Military academies requested the footage. Xenobiologists studied human psychology. The Veltrax complex added new obstacles, then watched in horror as the next human cadet completed it in 58 minutes. A new sign was installed at the complex entrance, caution, if human cadet enters, adjust expectations and triple the difficulty. When asked by a reporter how she'd done it, Riley shrugged while eating her promised tacos. See, that's the thing about Earth. Everything there tries to kill you, weather, wildlife, other humans, sometimes the food. So when you make a course that's supposed to be impossible. She took another bite. We just see a rough Tuesday. Earth doesn't raise soldiers. It raises survivors who laugh at obstacles. The interview went viral. Military recruitment for humans skyrocketed, while other species began suggesting separate leagues for competitions. Drill Master Cornec, watching from his office, turned to his aide. Do you know what the most terrifying part is? That she broke every record? No. Cornec pulled up Riley's file. It's that she listed her Earth athletic experience as casual parkour and some rock climbing. She's not even one of their athletes. She's just normal. The aide's scales went pale. If that's normal, then we've been rating the wrong things as dangerous. Cornec looked out at the stars, somewhere among them Earth spun innocently. We thought danger meant strength, weapons, aggression. We never considered it might mean creativity, adaptability, and the ability to see our greatest challenges as entertainment. He stood, all 6 arms moving to adjust his uniform. Send a message to High Command. Recommend immediate alliance with Earth. Sir? Because if that's what they do for fun, I don't want to see what they do when they're serious. As his message transmitted across the galaxy, Riley Knox was already back in the course, running it backwards as promised, a speaker playing music duct taped to her shoulder. Her time would be 53 minutes. She didn't just break the record, she broke the very concept of what impossible meant. And somewhere in the galaxy, every drill sergeant who'd ever said nobody can do this suddenly felt very, very nervous about meeting their next human recruit.